Hey guys, welcome back to the Minecraft Mod Showcase. It's me, your man, Frozen Breeze, here once again to take a look at another Minecraft mod. And this time around, we're looking at one that's quite interesting. We're taking a look at the Tensura Reincarnated mod, created by Mana's Mods. I'm going to mess up these next couple of names. Mian Aragon and Born1 UUS. This mod takes the, well, it's an anime series, but its original form was a light novel, but it adapts the light novel, that time I got reincarnated as a slime, into the world of Minecraft, and is an updated version of a pretty well-known older mod. This is the 1.19.2 version, and well, I've been playing this on the channel recently, and I've been having a ton of fun with it. Well, Minecraft Mod Showcases definitely rake in the views, but it can also go ahead and show more people that this mod exists, even though this mod is already all over YouTube at this point. The Tensura Reincarnated mod is very popular on YouTube nowadays, but you know, if you don't do a Minecraft Mod Showcase, then you suck. Either way, we're taking a look at this one for this Minecraft Mod Showcase. Originally, it was a 1.12.2 mod, and that mod still is out there in the world, but it had a couple of issues that didn't really get tackled until the newer version. So this mod's getting regular updates all the time. So if you're interested in checking out this mod, check it out on CurseForge. They have a Discord, and also there's an entire wiki for this. So if we get a couple things wrong, you can go ahead and go to the wiki. That probably knows everything about this mod. I only know as much as I really know. But either way, let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, I already look like the main character, Slime Man. Either way, the Tensura Reincarnated mod is a very interesting mod, as a lot of how it works is based off of its own kind of RPG system. So, before checking out anything, we need to go ahead and see what happens when you start at the game. So, give me a sec. Right as you start into a world using the Tensura Reincarnated mod, you'll start off with this little menu that allows you to choose what kind of race you're going to be born into the world as. So the options are human, elf, dwarf, merfolk, beastfolk, goblin, lizardman, ogre, orc, slime, white, ghoul, and lesser demon, as well as random in case you don't know who to choose. There are a bunch of add-on mods for this that include even more races, but these are just the ones that are tackled inside of the original game. Each one has a description of how hard they are to play as, their aura range, which we'll talk about later, their magical range, which we'll also talk about later, intrinsic skills that they are born with, so these are like racial skills, and a description to say what is up about all of these. Now, I'm tackling this mod thinking that you already know how the Tensura anime works, but if you don't, you might want to go ahead and watch Tensura. It's actually really easy to watch. I started watching it like a month ago, and I completed it super quick. It's a very fastly paced anime. It's not like shonen. So yeah, you get to choose from one of these many races, and they all have different things that make them, different. They've got different aura ranges, different magical races, different intrinsic rates, different intrinsic skills, and different difficulties. The hardest one being, well, the slime. But yeah, what you're born into the world with, and also you can just choose completely random if you don't know who to choose, is going to affect how you play this game, because some of these will have very similar ways of starting off, like just Minecraft-wise. Other ones are going to be so much harder to start off as, but it's going to be defining how you're going to start working in this world. So, okay. So, once you're able to choose what your race is, when you start off into the game, right when you load into the world, you'll start with all of your racial skills, or intrinsic skills as they're called in this game, and one of 50 different unique skills, which we will be going at least over most of those skills. But first off, to explain what's changed is you don't really have the normal health experience. Well, you do have the experience bar, but it's kind of shifted around. You don't really have the normal health and hunger bars. Those all get changed to the top left corner of your screen. As you can see, a little picture of your character, which, changes with you. The red bar being your health, the brown bar right underneath it being your spiritual health. Then you've got your food bar, your armor bar, your breath bar. Right underneath that, you also have your magical bar and your aura bar. Now, that's a lot to go over. Hopefully, we'll be able to go over all of that here in this Minecraft mod review. But that's how the UI is changed. Now, when you load into the world, The menu that's going to show you all of your like RPG skills is going to be the B key. So this menu is going to be your Bible here in this game. So we've got like the main menu, which shows like your name, it shows your current race, how many souls you have, your amount of magicule, your amount of aura, as well as your EP. Now, EP is like kind of power level, like how strong you are level-wise, like Dragon Ball kind of shit. And well, your race is your race. Your souls we'll get into at some point, but your magicules are like your magic power. The more magicules you have, the more magical abilities you can use. And your aura, I don't actually understand that. I've been trying to understand that. I don't really get it, but I'm going to guess it's like aura as in like how much power you exude from your body. So this is just the regular description menu, and also see like a little picture of yourself, and I don't really know what this speed thing is about, but you know, it has something worth it. There's a bunch of coming soon things that you don't really need to worry about. You can also access the settings menu that tell you like random things, I guess. Define if Tensura should render its title screen. Interesting. Arachnophobia mode. I didn't know it had an arachnophobia mode. Let's see. Skill overlay side, stats overlay side. So yeah, this just allows you to change a bunch of different options. Then we've got this little empty bar, which we're going to go over later. Then you've got your skill menu that show off all of your different skills. You've got resistance skills. These are all just depending on like different types of damage you can take. And you can earn stuff like a resistance and a nullification from them if you take like so much damage from that certain type. Like if you take a shit ton of like, I don't know, cold damage, like you're freezing to death for like 5 hours, you're going to get a resistance and maybe even a nullification, which just makes you ignore that certain type of damage. Ignore the Hoglin walking in. This structure just generates a shit ton of them. Excuse me. And then you got yourself your common skills, which are skills that you will usually get throughout the game. Just like basic skills that every single race has like an adaptation to, so we'll be going over them later. You've got unique skills, which are those skills that you start out with, which you usually only get one of per world, but these are like super overpowered abilities that like will help you progress very far. You've got your intrinsic skills, which like I said is like your racial skills depending on what race you're born into, therefore you're going to get those certain abilities. Extra skills are also like common skills in the fact that you can get them just like randomly sometimes. These are usually the skills that you get as you level up, but are all dependent on like what kind of race you are and what order you're going to get them. Then finally, there are ultimate skills. There are no ultimate skills in the game so far, not that any I've seen quite yet. Even using a command to give yourself every single skill in the game, you can't actually get yourself any ultimate skills. So they don't really exist yet, but if they were to exist, they should be like unique powers that combine together to create even stronger shit. So yeah. Then we've got the magical powers, and a lot of them are like coming soon, but the two that are unlocked are spiritual powers. These are like elemental attacks. You've got summoning powers, which only have, 4 different things, but this should allow you to bring enemies or bring allies into the world. Then the final menu is your battle wills. These are like kind of physical techniques that are unlocked by getting a certain item in the world, and just need to, be used in battles and such. Now, if you want to try and put one of your skills onto over here on the left side, if you look in the UI, there's 3 random empty squares. These are where you're going to put your skills and or magic abilities. So, if you go into, I don't know, let's go ahead and grab a skill. Let me grab one from the common era. If I want to put one on my, ability bar, you want to go ahead, just click the name of it, then click it on one of these ones down here. So I can just put a bunch of these right here, and it'll show up in my menu. And if you want to use any of them, all you got to do is press Z, X, or C. So if I do this, I can scream at this guy and he dies. I like screaming at people for fun! I like screaming at people so hard that they die. Anyway, then you can use all of your different abilities. They're all pretty, they're not random, but they are, kind of random-ish abilities that you can get. They're all, based off abilities that the main character gets in the game. So, yeah, that's how you use your little menu. All of these, I think, have settings menus differently. I think they all had different settings earlier in, an earlier version, but now they're not showing up at all, which is very... Wait. Oh, is there, a page thing to it? Yeah, there's 2 pages. Analysis, overlay side, HUD size, appraisal, opacity, edit HUD position, and edit skill overlay position. Okay, so there's where the rest of the options are. But yeah, that menu is going to be your gospel when trying to go through this mod. So, first things first, I want to go ahead and show off many of the items that you can get in this mod. But first, we should probably go ahead and go over the kiln and the smithing bench. The smithing bench is going to be what you're going to use to create most of the items in this game. So, if you want to make a smithing bench, you can go ahead and make sure I search it up. You just need to get yourself an anvil, a smithing table, and a crafting table to create a smithing bench. It forms together both an anvil and a smithing bench right inside of it, but the smithing bench itself has the ability to make any of these random items. Not all of these are unlocked at the very beginning, but for making a bunch of the armors that are required for this mod, you can't make them in a regular crafting table. You have to make them in a smithing bench, which just requires that you have a certain schematic for it, which we'll go over schematics, and have the right amount of gear for it. So therefore, you don't actually have to craft anything. It's just kind of give items, you can get it back. So that's the smithing bench. Then the kiln is, if you've ever played a mod like Tinker's Construct, it's kind of the same thing. So it takes like a netherite ingot, a bunch of obsidian, a blast furnace, and 2 cauldrons. But this thing melts down items into like molten versions, and then you can go ahead and have them like turn themselves into like other things. Like you can melt down netherite and you can get like, molten netherite, and then you can kind of turn it into other stuff. So that's how you're going to be making a lot of the higher version of ores. Now, the 2 ores that you will usually find in the world are magic ore and deep slate silver. It's just silver ore. The silver ore allows you to make like silver items, and the magic ore is kind of important for making magic items, but we'll go over those in a second. Either way, there's one other thing over here, and this is the magic engine. Now, this thing is sort of interesting, as at least in the show, it allows the user to make a spell, which is all those skills we had, appear from just like a generated square. Now, I don't know how to use them correctly. Right now, it just takes a bunch of bricks. There's 2 versions you can make. You can make stone bricks, or you can make a brick engine. So it just takes whatever kind of brick, a pure magic steel ingot, and a high quality magic crystal in order to make this thing. You right click it, it just kind of puts a crystal in there. I don't actually know what it does, because I don't even have a crystal in my inventory. So I don't really know what it does. There's probably something on the wiki about it, but for now, it's just a cool looking thing that makes a bunch of noises, and I love noises. Either way, let's start going through some items. So these are all the weapons in the game. If I press R on some of them, you cannot make a goblin club, but having certain mods will allow you to look at all of their like attack damage. Some of these get really strong. Like this thing does 83 attack damage. But as you can see, with a bunch of these, you just need to look at their smithing recipes. So like this Cabano just requires the goblin club, low magic steel ingot, and 2 gold. A lot of these are just going to be constructed through the smithing bench. You don't need to worry about them actually having a crafting recipe. They're all just made through there. Some of them are made through like random items that mobs will drop, and then other ones are just made from, basic shit like a stick and diamonds and stuff like that. But the way that you unlock most of these are actually through a completely different thing. Not those. Where are they? There they are. These are from these schematics. Now, whenever you're going to get like a regular material in the game, like iron or silver or gold or diamonds, you'll get one of these schematics. The only way that you can actually make any of these extra items inside of the smithing bench is if you have a schematic for them. Usually they'll drop whenever you get that item. You just right click them and you'll know them. So none of these things will actually show up in there until you get the schematic for them. So yeah, these are a bunch of different items that exist. You can get like kunais, you can get Tempest Scale Sword. These are all pretty goddamn cool things, but are quite hard to grab at. But yeah, you can get a bunch of knives or daggers, kunais. You can get spears, scythes, some really cool looking long swords, short swords, great swords, kododachi. You can even get fucking like samurai swords. You can get katanas, more scythes, Orb of Dominion. I don't know how you get that. You get a dragon knuckle. That requires pink dye and a bunch of pure magic steel ingots. Dead End Rainbow. A lot of these things are like weapons from the show that require, certain things. And I definitely recommend having the JEI mod, the Just Enough Items mod, in here in order for you to actually see some of these. But some of these just don't have crafting recipes right now. and are dropped from like random things. Like you can get a fucking gun. Yeah, I think that drops from like a random mob. Let's see. A lot of these need a bunch of random mobs to help them out. You can also get different kinds of ammo in invisible arrows. You can also get spear-finned arrows. You can even get bullets as used for the guns. You can even get yourself some shields. So I think these just drop from random things. So this thing actually is smithed. And this thing is also smithed. So interesting. The last thing inside of this chest are the battle wheel manuals. These are inside of like random treasure chests. So like you go inside of a dungeon, they're usually going to have themselves like a battle wheel manual. And this is how you get your battle wheels. So make sure you're paying attention on that. I was looking at a random heart. So along with weapons, we also have a shit ton of armor. These are all crafted through the smithing bench as well, and just require random things. Like these require like monster leather. This requires like giant ant carapace. Let's see, this requires serpent scales, and then you've also got all of the like steel armors. You can also get like a bat glider. You can get winged shoes and a bunch of different masks. Over here, you can see the same exact stuff. You can even get the stuff the main character wears. So yeah, you get all these armors through the smithing bench. Then we'll talk about how to get the ores correctly for them. You can also get a monster saddle, which comes into a point of the game that we're going to be getting to at least a little bit later. Either way, we've covered schematics, we've covered armor, we've covered weapons. These are also really cool looking armor. Like, if I wore, let's say, adamantite armor, and I put this shit all on, I look pretty goddamn cool. Pretty cool stuff. And it's pretty goddamn defensive. It has 10 armor. Let's see, I had 48 armor when wearing all of that. Very interesting. Let me just go ahead and put on the main character's armor. Now I'm also the main character, even though I was already dressed up as the main character. Let me take off that mask. We'll go over any of the more specific things for this stuff later on, but I guess, I'll wear what the main character wears, even though I was already doing that. I also went over schematics. Some of these schematics are not going to be dropped specifically by getting a certain thing. Some of these are just like rare drops from random mobs, like stuff like the dark set, the masks, stuff like, I don't know, the sword stuff, the Japanese sword schematic, the dagger schematic, great sword schematic. A lot of these are also just dropped by random mobs throughout the mod. These things down here are called the reset scrolls. These things are very interesting as, like I said, when you spawn into this game, you're going to get specific stuff, like you can choose your race, but the unique skill that you get is going to be randomized each and every time. If you want to try and re-randomize this stuff, like get yourself a different race, you can go ahead and get yourself a race reset roll. And these are actually craftable, but they are very, very hard to craft. The skill reset rolls reset every skill of every type from the user except their race's intrinsic skill. This scroll will not cover up your unique skills MP cost. Be careful, or else you will end up with no unique skills. And then finally, you got yourself a character reset. It just resets everything about you. So if you really don't like your unique skill and you don't have any way of switching it, you want to go ahead and get these scrolls. But they are hell to get. Like, you need like really high level magisteel in order to make them. You can also make them in the smithing table, but it's better if you made them outside of it. So yeah, that's one thing. Also, I was like, what? Let me go ahead and see. What is this? Oh, this is from Britannia. I was like, what are those circles? Either way, next up, we're going to go over the drops that you can get. Most mobs, even regular Minecraft mobs, will drop these quality magic crystals. These are used to make like a bunch of random things, like magic bottles, the stone brick stuff, dubious food, and are used to create like even lower versions of themselves, and are used to create stuff like elemental cores and magic stones inside of the smithing bench. So they're kind of like the basic item you're going to need for a lot of different crafting recipes. Also, we've got monster leather. This drops from random monsters throughout the world and is like another basic building block. You got a giant bat wing from a giant bat, invisible feathers, a dragon peacock feather, a bunch of different carcasses from random mobs, a bunch of different random items like fangs, a tail from something, slime chunks. Important thing here would be the slime core, but we'll go over that. Random pieces of feather. These aren't feathers. Random pieces of string. And all that kind of stuff. The important things right here are that demon essence, I believe, drops from demons. Dragon essences will drop from the ender dragon, so you're going to have to resummon him. Royal blood is dropped from a boss later on. And there's also the Marionette Heart, a rare item that can turn the user into a Majin with the cost of their half of their max HP and damage, and most of their current Magicule. This is a very important item for later on, depending on what you spawn as. Because certain races actually count as, like, monsters, because stuff like slimes, goblins, orcs, and lizardmen? No, I don't know if that list is completely correct, but I know slimes are counted as monsters in the mod. Certain monsters are going to be important for certain types of different things. I'm being very facetious right now, but yeah. Also, there's a nice dead head over there. Orc disaster head. We'll go over that. Either way, next up, we've got all the different food items. We've got dubious food, cooked versions of pretty much every kind of meat you can grab from the enemies, and even silver apples. Very interesting things. These things need mithril ingots. And then you can also make a bunch of... I don't know why... I don't know what's up with that. I don't think you need create stuff to make that, but you can make different kinds of healing potions as well. Low potion, high potion, full potion, revival elixir. And it's all pretty much made through this hippoc flower, or hippocute flower. You'll find random pieces of it throughout the world in, like, grass, and you can go ahead and grow it. And this is used to make, like, a bunch of different potions. We can refine it into full potions and, like, just make really high healing stuff if you really need it. So there's all where that is. The dubious food is actually, I think, the most important of them all, because it's supposed to be like a superfood. I don't really get it, but it gives you 50 hunger with the with no saturation. So I'm not quite sure what it does, but it's all over the place in this game. Alright, next up are all of the random ores. Magic ore comes from magic ore. Silver ingots can come from like regular raw ingots. And then all of these different, like, really high-level ingots right here, like low magisteel, is made from mixing inside of the kiln. So it'll take, you know, it can make molten magisteel from here. And then just the higher levels of magisteel will require even more magisteel. So if you want to make high magisteel, you're going to need more magisteel. If you want to make mithril, let's see, it's going to take even more, it's going to take silver and more molten magisteel. Let's see, if you want to make orichalcum, it's going to take gold and molten magisteel. If you want to make pure magisteel, I guess you're going to need even more. Just the more and more magisteel you have, the easier it becomes. I don't know how to get adamantite. I don't actually know about that one. Adamantite. It's a really cool looking ore. A really cool looking shit, but I don't know how you actually make it. I don't really know. And then Hippocote. I guess I don't know how to make that one either. They might not be implemented. There's the magic stone I was talking about. That's used in a bunch of different stuff. Also a bunch of stuff in the smithing. Like you can make the bat glider, you can make the wing stews, you can make the elemental core inside of here. So very important things over here. But if you just place, like, I think you just place magic ore inside the kiln. Let's see. I think that'll go ahead and burn it. Let me see, maybe you need like a bucket of lava in order to like burn this shit up. It is a kiln, so you need to be really fucking hot. Let's see, so I think that'll burn down the magic ore. And then it ends up as magisteel inside the kiln. So that's how you get your magisteel. And this magic ore that I just destroyed using my face can only be broken using netherite. So you're going to need something netherite-wise in order to break that. But yeah, that's how you use the kiln and get yourself more magisteel. And you just melt up shit tons of magisteel. And you'll get very high-level magisteel gear. So that's how you get that. Finally, we have 5 million different mobs that we're going to be exploring later on. But now that I have explored pretty much every item in the mod and shown off how to get it, we need to start talking about how to get stronger. So, the way you get more EP is by killing a bunch of random mobs. You kill the mobs from the Tensura mod, you just kill, like, skeletons, spiders, and zombies and stuff. And the higher EP you build up from killing all of them, the more Magicule and Aura you have. And now we can finally talk about this, the evolution bar. If you go ahead and select on that, it shows you every single evolution that your race can do. Not every race has 5 million evolutions, but there are some that have a ton. Like the goblins have a shit ton of evolutions, while stuff like the slime only has about 2. So if you go into here, you show the things that I can become. So because I'm an ogre, I can go ahead and become a Kijin or an enlightened ogre. Whenever I click on this, it'll just show what is required. Like if I want to become a Kijin, I need to obtain a spirit. Or if I want to become an enlightened ogre, you just need to have a certain amount of like EP and stuff like that. So if there's a certain one you want, you just go ahead and put that on tracking, and it'll tell you how close you are to actually evolving. So if I want to become a Kijin, I need to obtain a spirit, which, you know, I guess we're just going to go ahead and wait on that for now, because I have to show off spirits and stuff like that. So I guess I want to go ahead and show off some of the cool abilities that you can get in this mod. There are so many of them. So many of them that I can't show all of them off, but, you know, there are videos here on YouTube that do show off the skills, and if you do want me to show them all off in, like, a really long video that's explaining all of them, go ahead and tell me in the comments, and, you know, that might just happen. Either way, I can go ahead and show you, yes, I have a bunch of the random, unique skills all labeled on here, but I'll grab some of the couple that are, like, very important, so one that is probably the most important of the entire mod is Predator. Let me see. What are some other cool ones? How about... I like Chosen One. Chosen One's pretty goddamn cool. Let me see. What else? Cook, Creator, Degenerate. Degenerate's pretty cool. Degenerate! Okay, so let's go ahead and show off what all this shit does. Predator is the skill that the main character has and allows them to pretty much eat anything they see. So, when you start off in the mod, like I said, you only get a certain amount of skills, and you only get your skills from leveling up and just, like, you know, killing more things. Well, that's not completely true when you have the skill Predator. Predator allows the user, which is just a great name, I hate the name for it, just allows the user to eat pretty much anything it sees. So, if I go ahead and use this Predator skill... see, is it set up to work on everything? Consume all. So Predator allows you to eat blocks, fluids, and most importantly, if there's any kind of mob around, whenever you eat the mob, it will steal their powers. I think it's because I'm on peaceful, yeah. That's why there's nothing trying to fucking kill me. Let's go over here and eat some ghosts. There's one of the Tensura mobs. But yeah, Predator allows you to eat the opponent. So if you're strong enough to, like, you know, kill them using Predator, which, you know, I didn't bring a fucking sword. So Predator just does damage normally, but if you use Predator to actually eat something, any skills that they have will be retained by the user. So Predator's really fucking good, because it's the only way you can get super strong super quickly. So if I go up to, like, a mob that has, like, a skill that's learnable, like, let me see if I can find one. Like, there's a green guy down there. There's a green guy. I don't like green people. They're cringe. I just want something cool. Give me something interesting to eat. There's a little goblin village down here. I guess I can use that later. Don't worry about that. We'll go ahead and cover that later. I need to find something that's edible. Is that a slime down there? No, I think that's a... Nope, that's just a really big plant. That's just a really big plant. Let's see. I don't know. How about these guys? Like, big-ass cod right here. They have the water-breathing skill. So, if I were to predatorize them, I would get the water-breathing skill. Now, because I already gave myself all my skills, it really doesn't work. But Predator is very important very early game if you want to get really strong. Next up is a very cool one, the Chosen One ability. This does, like, a big old, like, circle thing around you and is very loud. But anything that's, like, caught in the circle of my, you know, ability, any enemies just outright die. But, like, if it does kill an enemy, it just makes them into a friend. Like, this creeper actually likes me now. I have, like, tamed a creeper. This thing thinks it's my friend now. So, Chosen One just allows pretty much any enemy that I see to become my instant friend. So, Chosen One's pretty goddamn powerful. I love that one. Then, the final one I want to show off is Degenerate. Or Degenerate. Degenerate allows you to, like, put things together. Like, you have a crafting table inside of your ass. So, if you want to craft something, you can just make it. The coolest thing is that you can uncraft things. Like, if I wanted to get, like, a... What's something uncraftable? I guess a crafting table, because I'm stupid. If I put this in here, it'll just turn it back into planks. Very useful if you find a really good weapon that you don't want to use, but you want the materials of it. Something else that's really cool is that you can, like, go ahead and get... let me see... Fortune. Let's go ahead and get, like, 2 fortune books. Maybe I'll get a 3rd to go ahead and mess with stuff. I can go ahead and take abilities out of this, like if I go ahead and put this in here, I can remove fortune from a book, but you can also go ahead and put things together. Like, you are a walking anvil. So that's a pretty cool ability, and you can go ahead and, like, take apart skills, I believe. Like, another cool thing is if you hold left alt, you can go ahead and see all of your abilities, like descriptions, and if you hit the button while looking at them, I can go ahead and change the power of Predator, because it has a bunch of different powers. I can also change the powers of Chosen One, and I can also change the powers of Degenerate. Like Synthesize, you need to target a living entity. Well, this target does not work on the target. This target needs to work on a living entity. It does not work on the target. This should allow me to, like, put things together, but I don't really know how it works. Separate. I can separate his ass. I'm separating him! I don't know what that means. I guess maybe if I found a spider jockey, it would go ahead and separate the spider and the spider jockey? You know, I'm not completely sure. He's just... The only reason this guy's recruited is just because I fucking use Heroes Hockey! I think I can also use... What is it called? Heroes Charisma? I think that's just like a passive. Anything that's near me thinks it's my friend now. Oh, I'm so sorry, random dog, but you're not actually my friend. But yeah, unique skills are pretty goddamn awesome to use, and I'd love to go through with all of them and figure out how they all work, but for now, that's just not the point of this episode. The point is to look at pretty much everything in a giant overview. So, skills are quite cool. I'd definitely love to go over them. But either way, that's how you use your skills. And some of the cool ones that you can actually unlock. So, oh, are you here now? Oh, okay. Well, let me go ahead and get a weapon and kill you. I don't need you here, therefore you're going to die. Let's go ahead and bring out... Give me a scythe. Just give me a scythe. Sorry, little buddy. Yep. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I just killed my dog. I am a murderer. I am indeed a murderer. Anyway, one of the cool things about this mod also is very interesting. Let me go ahead and get myself out a wooden sword. So, something really interesting is that so the power that we use, EP, like that magical power, it doesn't just attribute itself to just, like, mobs and stuff. You can also attribute it to items. So, if you're holding a certain item and use it for so long, like, let's say I kill 1,000,000 things with this iron sword, they'll actually upgrade. So the iron sword will turn into a diamond sword. It'll then turn into a netherite sword. It'll turn into a low magisteel sword. And it just keeps going up and up and up no matter how much power it has. So even, like, items like pickaxes, axes, shovels, swords, armor can all evolve as time goes on. Like I said, the main character can evolve, and so can all of their items. So if you're using the same pickaxe from the very beginning of the game, at least if you have an iron, you can have like a super powered magisteel pickaxe by the very end of the game if you just keep fucking with it. So pretty cool stuff. It also has to retain with how strong you are. So you have to get stronger in order to make your weapon stronger. But if you're getting stronger, they're getting stronger, they're evolving. You're evolving. Got some pretty incredible stuff. So yeah. How to go about next, we need to probably go about how evolving is. Even though I showed you how it works, I need to go into some of the mobs. So, in order for a Kijin to evolve, I need a spirit. I need a spirit, so therefore, I'm going to go somewhere where I won't burn down this shit. I'm probably going to have to use the skill. I'm going to have to use the summoning skill, Summon Greater Elemental. So, if I do this, I will summon a Greater Elemental. Let's see. Does that not work? Default. You do not meet the requirements to change modes of Summon Greater Elemental. I don't think it works because I don't have an elemental, so I need to get something like the Ifrit. Ifrit. So, that is a boss. Don't worry, I can kill him real quick. Let me see. I need Pure Magisteel. Give me a sword. Give me a sword. He is so fucking loud, dude. Do you have to be that loud? Where'd he go? Oh, he's over there. He's gonna burn down my... Oh my god. Yeah, the animations in this mod are pretty goddamn cool. He's gonna burn down everything and be so loud. Get over here, jackass. Yeah, I really shouldn't have summoned you. You are too strong for your own fucking good. Get over here. Yeah, he just goes on a fucking murdering spree. Get over here, jackass. time for you to fucking hit the bricks. Hit the bricks, pal. You're done. What kind of... Oh, okay. We're going into peaceful mode to go ahead and get rid of these jackasses. Though it seems like he doesn't get eliminated. Jackass, get over here. Get ready to get killed. I guess he just fights random things. He just really hates everything in his life. Okay, let me go ahead. Kill at E. Damn. Okay, well, that solves the whole problem of the Ifrit being a dick, but that didn't solve the problem of how the fuck do I eat people? Okay, so I need a greater spirit, so let me go ahead and spawn in a greater spirit, if I can go ahead and get one. Where's Ifrit? No. Ifrit is not good to eat. I think this guy is somebody I can eat. He's also a boss. So yeah, every single greater spirit is a boss, I guess. But you have to go ahead and try and seal them inside of yourself. Like, elemental core, right? Elemental core. Well, I don't really know how to go about that. Interesting. You should die because you're going to break things. They tend to break everything in their vicinity. So I'm just going to go ahead. I don't know how to get the elemental things, but there's a way to seal those really strong bosses like the Ifrit and that weird cape guy inside of you. And that'll actually give you extra powers as well. That'll give you like fire powers or ice powers or darkness powers. But instead, let's just go ahead and evolve the other way. So if I go ahead, go to my evolution, I go to Enlightened Ogre. I click evolve, and that now, you know, when you evolve, that gives you more stats, like more health and more spiritual health, and will usually make you super strong. But because we're already super strong, it doesn't really matter. So you can evolve like a bunch of different times. Let's see, it requires Demon Essence to become a Wicked Oni. And to become a Mystic Oni, you need Elemental Essence. So I need Demon Essence. I don't know how much I need, but I'll have like 24 of it. Alright. That's also... Whoa, my power just jumped out of nowhere. Consume it. Oh, you have to eat this shit. Can I just eat you? Apparently this seems to give me some kind of shit. Taking up magicules to use. Oh, so it shows you like, oh, I need this certain amount of demon essence to go ahead and evolve this shit. Very interesting, very interesting. Keep eating, Mr. Breeze. Keep eating your ass. Alright. Is that enough? Alright, so now I can evolve once again. You became a Demon Lord seed. That's going to be important because to become like the highest level of evolution in this game, you need to go ahead and get that Demon Lord seed. And sometimes you can just get it out of nowhere, but the best idea is to actually kill a boss for it. But yeah, Demon Lords are pretty goddamn powerful. So to go to the next one, Death Oni, I just need experience points. So now I am even stronger. As you can see, my health is jumping. Then become a Divine Fighter or a Divine Oni. I guess I'll become a Divine Oni. And yeah, once you reach your max, you are incredibly powerful. Like, sure, my EP hasn't gone up at all, but I have 6,500 health, and I have 39,000 spiritual health. So I'm quite spiritually adept. So that's how the evolution system works. And before we start looking at all the mobs, we also need to get into... Oh, damn, I am fast! I'm a fast motherfucker. I'm so fast. We should probably get into the final thing before we start looking at random mobs. And that is, well, one of the most important parts of Tensura, and that is the naming system. So, everything in the series, or at least, you know, monsters in the series don't usually have names. But when given names, monsters will actually get even stronger. So if I take something like a dire wolf, these are nice little dire wolves. So just spawn a bunch of them. Okay, that's a big guy. So if I go ahead and take all these dire wolves, I'm looking... Oh, is that it? Interesting. Is this... Which of these wolves am I looking for? I don't really know. Either way, mobs don't usually have names, but when given names, they will do some pretty incredible stuff. And you can tame pretty much anything in here. So, if you want to name something, you press the N key. Usually a mob needs to actually be scared or very close to death in order to be named. So, to make them scared, you're going to get the skill Coercion. Usually every single person has it. Hear me, dire wolves. Oh, I just tamed them all. So that's how you tame a dire wolf, but that's not exactly what I was going to do. Anyway, once you scream at them, they get the fear status. And then they will no longer want to attack you. After that point, you can press N on them if they're afraid or almost dead and give them a random name. Like, I'm going to give this direwolf the name Tyler. Then you can also choose to subdue the target when you name them, which just tames them. Or you can choose to evolve them using this, which will make them stronger. You can also choose to endow them, which will make them incredibly strong. So if I choose to endow and name, that'll name pretty much all of them. Like, where did Tyler go? Tyler, where'd you go? Oh, there's Tyler. There's Tyler. But once you name something, usually it'll do something pretty incredible. What about this direwolf over here? He currently doesn't have a name. Let's go ahead and name him. I don't even think he's part of my group. Let's see. Come on, press N. Target cannot be named. That's usually what happens. So you need to go ahead and make him scared, but I'm too strong. So instead, I'm gonna go ahead and get out one of my swords and just start beating on him until he's, you know, ready for death. Where is not friend direwolf? Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Nope. Not friend direwolf walked away. That is not... Is that you? No. These dogs are stuck to my ass. These dogs need... Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. You can also ride on the dogs. That's how the, what's it called? The... the saddle works, usually. But yeah, you can just ride on your dog. You can ride on a bunch of different things. I don't know where that specific dog went. See, this dog... I will name this dog instead. So, I'm going to go ahead and endow the target... Or I'm just going to click on Evolve. You can also randomize them. Once they're, like, named, they're going to go ahead and evolve. So this guy turned to a much bigger dog when named. It can work for a lot of different mobs. Like, if I found a goblin... let me go ahead and get a goblin out. Goblin trader? No. I need a specific goblin. All of you sit here. Like, if you usually do shift-click, like shift right-click, they'll go ahead and change, like, if they're sitting or anything like that. Right now, I have the carry-on mod on, so it's, like, all fucking up. Either way, the best thing to first do in a game would be to go to that goblin village down there that we already saw. They look like very small villages that look extremely weak. So, you go there and you can name them pretty goddamn easily. All my dogs showed up, but I didn't want them to, but that's okay. I think, are any of the goblins still alive in here? I don't think they are. Usually there will be a couple of goblins in here that you can name. These dogs. These dogs are getting bad. You all need to die. I don't think you can actually hurt them, though. It could also be that I have chosen one, so that makes everybody want to join me. Let me go ahead and name this, like, Slime. Your name is Slime. Not bad, Slime. Let's see. But you can name pretty much anything that's scared of you. In creative mode, you can name anything, and, you know, it'll just come directly to you. Oh, there's one of the goblins. So yeah, you can name this goblin, I don't know. Let's name him Vincel, and that just made him a lot taller. That makes him into a hobgoblin. So, yeah, naming is going to be very important. You can also name other players. And naming players makes them super strong. Like, I was trying this in, like, a multiplayer world, and I named my friends. And they just, like, jumped. Because when you name something, it's supposed to evolve them. So I could turn, like, really weak people into super strong if I named them. But that makes them my subordinates, just like all these guys. They all just teleport with me. Can everybody, like, sit down or something? No? Okay. Now they're all just coming with, even that Slime. But yeah, the naming system is very important on getting, like, a big old army for yourself to fight. So, that's how the naming system works and how evolving them works. Last things I want to talk about were the bosses. These mobs right here... These are not all bosses, but they are all, you know, some of the things that are in the mod. So I want to go ahead and check out some that are just, like, random enemies, and just, like, you know, cool things to go ahead and take on. So I'm going to go ahead, walk out there, and spawn some of these. Can everybody just stay here? If you name one direwolf, it'll name the rest. So that's why they all got, you know, things. Either way, I need them all to go away, so I'm going to spawn some bosses for them to either get killed by or for them to kill. Who knows? Maybe my direwolf army will be able to eliminate everybody in the world. Either way, we already saw the Aksha. It was that flying thingamajig. Aqua Frog is a frog. Oh, shit. Vincel was murdered. So there's an Aqua Frog. It's just a big old frog. An Armorsaurus, which is like a strong enemy, who's killing all of my direwolves currently. But they'll go ahead and fight back. They'll try and fight. You can name pretty much anything in this mod, as long as it's not a boss. Dang, that one direwolf. Tyler, he's trying his best. Damn, Tyler did it. Tyler's a hero to us all. But yeah, evolved ones will always be a bit stronger. Let's see. Here's an army wasp. It's just a bee. I hate them, but they're actually not hostile. You already saw these fire dogs. They're just enemies. Let me see. A beast gnome. This is like a boss. These guys are pretty cool looking. Black spider. If you don't like spiders, don't look at this part of the mod. I really don't like spiders either, man. Yeah, they'll go ahead and try and fight everybody in the distance. So, yeah, slime was killed by giant spider. Okay, blade. Oh, I don't want to ride you right now, Tyler. We got the blade tiger. I don't know why they're not fighting you. It could be because I have Heroes Charisma. Heroes Hockey! But yeah, it inflicts fear on them. And now I can actually name him. I can name random things. Even a fucking spider can be named. Like, yeah, now I have a friend spider. That's funny. Alright, bull deer. These are just like random mobs that run around and, you know, act as, you know, something you can breed. Let's see. Charybdis. Now, this is one of the biggest bosses in the entire mod. You actually have to find a certain cave and find this guy's core and, like, go ahead and eat it. And it'll spawn this thing. A giant whale. A very evil giant whale that is almost impossible to kill. But he's like one of the big bosses of the mod. See, direwolves. We already saw direwolves. Dragon peacocks. You cannot name bosses, sadly. This guy just spawned random things. Dragon peacocks are little dragon peacocks. Yeah, look at all the fucking... He spawns these little, like, dragon guys to run after you. Elemental Colossus. This is another boss. This is like a giant-ass thing. Wow, I acquired EP from the fallen Tyler. Don't know how I did that, but that's cool. Evil Centipede. Is indeed an evil centipede. Feathered Serpent. I don't know what that thing is. Giant ant. Yeah, Charybdis is currently killing everything. Giant bat. Who's a giant bat? Giant bear. He is a giant bear. So pretty self-explanatory right there. I'm not really going in depth with these guys. I'm just kind of going over, you know, the basic shit about it. Let's see. We got the giant cod we already looked at. They die on land. Giant salmon. Let's see. You know the goblins. Let's see. Holy cow, which is, you know, a meme. Charybdis, stop killing cows. You're a bitch. A hell caterpillar. Little guys. A hell moth, which spawned from the hell caterpillars. The horned bear. Interesting looking guy. Horned rabbits. We've also got ourselves a hound dog. We already seen those all over the place. Charybdis, like, spawns a shit ton of shards and just, like, starts throwing itself at us, so... Yeah, we've got ourselves a hover lizard. These are rideable. Ifrit, we already saw Ifrit. A night spider, an even stronger version of that black spider. A landfish, which are like little merfolk, little mans. Look at that. Look at them fighting over there. It scares me just looking at them. A leech lizard, which you've already seen before. Those guys are jackasses. Lizard man. These are actually normal mobs. We can go ahead and name this and evolve him. Turn him into a dragon newt doing that. So that just evolved him. Megalodon, which are those things that Charybdis spawns. One-eyed owl. Can't even really see where they're going. An orc. She's cool. What are these called? Pig people. Ruler of monsters. Make subordinate of each of these races. Direwolf, goblin, lizardman, orc, and slime. So I can turn him into a big old, like, orc. He's fighting for his best, or whatever the fuck he's planning on doing. Whatever the fuck he plans on doing. Either way, I need to go back to base and go ahead and grab the rest of the mobs. Gotta love that Charybdis destroys everything. And if you don't like that they can destroy blocks, you can go ahead and turn on a setting that would stop them from destroying blocks. If you really don't like that. Which I would definitely recommend if you don't want to get your base destroyed. If you don't want your base destroyed in the Battle of Azkaban. Okay, Oh, I guess you get the dark set from getting that one achievement. Interdasting. All right, let's see. I'm going to go ahead. I'll just drop down here. I don't really care what gets destroyed up here. We got an Orc Lord, which is one of the bosses in the game. This guy will just go around and eat things, and if he eats something, he'll go ahead and turn to this. This is the Orc Disaster. Extremely strong orc that wants to eat everything in sight. And, yeah. That's usually how you will get the Demon Lord seed. By eating that guy. So you got Otherworlders. The Otherworlders are like humans that come from Earth. Dang, look at them fucking eat. Yeah, Otherworlders are like humans that came from Earth that have gotten like sent here. Usually they'll have unique abilities. So if you have Predator or another ability called Starved, you can go ahead and get their abilities from that. This guy is pretty goddamn strong. We got Otherworlder Hinata Sakaguchi. She is like the end boss of this mod. She is incredibly strong. Kirazara Misasuchi. I don't know how to say her name, but she's another random Otherworlder. Kiyoya. This guy has the weird sever blade. He's a weird fucked up guy. Let's see. Mai Fukuruki. I don't know who that is. Mark Lawhen. Just a bunch of random humans you can steal their abilities. Shinji Tanemura. I don't know who that guy is, but he must be cool. So we got Spear Taro. Oh, these are one of the fishes in the ground. Supermassive Slime, another boss. I think every single great spirit just got spawned. I think that's because of Hinata. Well, Jesus. I'm going to go ahead and walk away from them. Jesus, that's so loud. All right, we got a metal slime. Just a little metal slime. A regular slime. Sometimes a supermassive slime, which is another boss, will spawn from, you know, regular slime spawning. Hinata got pissed at them. Who's this? We've got Sissy, which is a big-ass fucking fish. Interdasting. A salamander. Which is like little demon guys. Shogo Taguchi. We've got a Shin Ryusuyu. These guys just have a bunch of different powers that they'll randomly use. Shizu, very important part of the mod. Or at least a very important part of the actual story. So yeah, found a bunch of Otherworlders in here that you can go ahead and fight and or kill if you don't like them. Is there anything else that I forgot? Let's see. A Sylphide, a Tempest Serpent, an Undie, Unicorn, War Gnome, and a Winged Cat. That's one of the greater spirits. Blows shit up. That Ifrit comes out of Shizu, if you didn't know. Alright, go away from them. You're so loud. What is this? A Tempest Serpent, an Undie, which is another greater spirit. You're going to want to fight those things to seal them inside of you, but they are a very tough boss. A Unicorn, which is a unicorn. A War Gnome, which is another one of those supermassive greater demons, greater things. And then finally, a Winged Cat, which is a cat. Jesus, why do you gotta be so loud? Why you gotta be so loud? But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything covered in this mod. At least all the mobs, all of the random items, and a couple of the skills. Like I said, this mod is extremely huge. There is so much to do in this mod that I can't cover it in one mod showcase. So, if you do want me to look at every single skill in the game in one episode, I can do that. You just need to tell me that that's it. But yeah, I guess if you want to see more of the Tensura mod on my YouTube channel, I'm already, at this point, doing a survival series on the mod. So if you want to see how it goes trying to do that from the beginning of survival, you're going to have to go ahead and check that out. But either way, this has been the Tensura Reincarnated mod. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, if you want me to do more things on it, always go ahead and tell me. But either way, I think that's all I have to say. So, I'll see you guys next time on the Minecraft Mod Showcase. And before I end this episode, I want to thank all of my YouTube members, including the Disciples of Epsilon, Valric, Amber, and Phoenix. Without you all, this channel would not stay afloat. So thank you for all your support. and I'll see you guys next time on The Backlog.